Hey guys, it's been it's been quite some time. So I think it's about 2 weeks. I lost track between the busyness and all the other stuff, along with coming down with the celebrity virus. Um, yeah, it's been a long time, but let's continue with the next video in the series. So I had covered number one was network security. Focus for a CISO. The first one, network security. Second one was risk management. Third was compliance, data security and compliance. Let's talk about number four. Number four in the list for the things that a CISO should focus on is building a good, not good, scratch that, great, no, scratch that, a world class cybersecurity team. Now, again, I will refer to my notes. Um, it is a tough task. It is a continuous process. You cannot time box it that you start on this day and you finish on this day. You might start someday, you might build it slowly, you might take a quite a decent amount of time to get your team together. And I say decent amount of time mainly because you would want world class people in there, or at least you want people who have a good grasp of what they're doing, um, the things that they know, or at the bare minimum, someone who has a foundational understanding but wants to learn, is hungry to learn more in their area of focus. So, some of the things that you need to keep in mind is that you are responsible for that whole team. Whatever they do from the time they enter into your organization until they leave, and everything in between, all the work that they do, the result of their work, anything related to that team is your responsibility and falls under your accountability. So remember to hire great world class cybersecurity professionals. Now, having said that, you also would want a diverse mix of people in there. Now, usually what happens is, and sometimes I understand it's mainly because of the number of people you can have in your team. Sometimes it may not be large enough. You have to do a cybersecurity professional might have to wear multiple hats. But I say this because if it's possible, you hire professionals who have very strong expertise in one area of focus. So, for example, someone who's very experienced in network security, someone who's experienced with threat intelligence, someone who's experienced with incident response. Those are the technical people that you would need to hire. I would say, if it's possible, go beyond that. Hire non-technical people, hire a communication person, hire a risk management person, hire a project manager to keep all your projects in line and keep the people sane, have everything organized. So have a diverse mix of people in your team, not necessarily focusing only on hiring technical people. Hire a diverse mix. Even within the technical people, make sure they have varied areas of focus. The next thing is, once you have your team compiled and assuming, let's say they are not world class right now, but the bare minimum you had kept in mind that they have a foundational understanding but they are very hungry to learn. It's very important, and this is a formula. We always complain that we do not have qualified people in cybersecurity. My understanding and my formula is this: you need to have people who are trained, and then they use the learning from that training in real world, and that gives them valid real world experience. What usually happens is, if you take any of these two components out, the training or the real world or the hands-on work experience resulted from this training, if you take any one of them out, you'll have people who are either not trained but are just spending time doing possibly irrelevant stuff, things that will not add value to your organization, or there are people who are doing relevant work but are not up to their mark because they haven't been trained. So you have to combine these two things together to make sure that the people you have can be trained and upskilled and use that same in their work, in their work for your organization. Using those two things, you will find cybersecurity professionals who are really good and world class at what they do. So remember, training plus an environment where they can use that training. All right. So that's what you need to remember for training and development. Another thing is, once you compile your team, once you have once you have a training and development program for them, you need to remember that when they use this training and in their work, in their day-to-day work, you need to also be able to measure their performance. But because at the end, like when I say, when you add these two things, you end up with world-class cybersecurity professionals. How would you know they're world-class? You would know only once you measure them in terms of what they have learned, how much time they have spent in what area of focus, and how good are they at that. So that real world experience, that measurement is something that you would need to have. Maybe organization wide you may have something, but at least bare minimum for your team, you would need to have that across your different areas of focus and the different professionals that you have in your organization, in your cybersecurity team. Another thing that you would need to focus on within when building your cybersecurity team is make sure you have the roles and responsibilities well defined. Which, what I mean by that is, when you have someone focusing on threat intelligence, what exactly is their profile? I'm not saying that they have to be restricted to that job description and the profile, but they need to know what they are responsible and accountable for. At the same time, while you do this for all areas of a focus, at the same time, when they know what they are supposed to be doing, they also are able to communicate within the team, reach out for help, reach out for support, um, um, even venting out frustration sometimes, reaching out for mental support or any kind of usually any kind of support that they would need, or even among the team, when you have some achievements, sharing that achievements and uplifting the whole team, you need to have that communication lines open between the different areas of focus, in case you have multiple people for the different areas of focus, and up to you too. So if you have a manager, your director, and even to you, you need to have clear lines of communication. I wouldn't say lines of communication, clear pathways that each person can communicate with each other in the team, as well as to you and any other management that's present in among your team. So remember to have that. And like I said, when it comes to learning and development, also have a talent development program. Now, this will help you to get the necessary skills, get the people with their areas of focus mapped to the necessary skills that they would need to that are pertaining to their areas of focus. So anyone with network security, threat intelligence, incident response, they need to have certain level that they need to meet. So if they're at level 1, they target for level 2. If they are level 2, they upskill to level 3. So that talent management program, in conjunction with your learning and development, has to be present. Or if it's present organization wide, awesome, but at least for your team. So these are some of the things that a CISO would need to remember and keep in mind when building his or her cybersecurity team. These are very essential because cybersecurity, the operations, the work that happens in the whole of cybersecurity community is because of the people that are working in there. Not everything can be automated. Not everything can happen without human intervention. And even when it happens, you need to have humans, aka cybersecurity professionals, available in there to manage the different things that are happening. But I say this, that cybersecurity professionals, similar to high pressure jobs, the professionals do face high pressures and stress and tight deadlines, like many other industries and many other professionals and many other lines of work. But knowing that and remembering that, you need to also make sure your team is well tended to, right from the time they are formed and all throughout their tenure within your organization. Each and every person should feel um, needed, should have the sense of belonging, and also mainly have the sense of what they are contributing to their team, to your team, and what are the good things that come as a result of their work. So your team needs to know um, the achievements. Your team needs to know how well the organization is doing because of their work. So make sure you, as a CISO, remind them of that, encourage them along the way, and do not forget, this is not an end goal. This is a continuous process from the time you have been hired or from the time there is the birth of a cybersecurity team. This will continue till your organization is alive. So my best wishes to you when you're forming your cybersecurity team. Um, and hope to see you in the next video, and hope you enjoyed this video. It was quite a long one, I guess I would say. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you come back. Until then, stay safe, stay secure, and build a world-class team. Thank you.